It is me, Johnson Chan, and today we're actually going to do a special early, if I can get this chat thing working, excuse me, a special early Bitcoin Cloud World. So I have to find out what number this is, but I figure I can't really wait, and obviously I've been talking with lawyers to do my trademark situation. So I basically have hired a lawyer, and I think sometime next week he'll send out the opposition. So assuming, of course, he's not a scam lawyer and he's just taking my money, but I don't think that's the case because he's advertising on Google, so you're not supposed to scam people. So I think it should be fine. But anyway, I wanted to get this out there early enough so that by the time all of you watch this, because I think 99% of everyone that watches my videos and streams actually watch the archive. And today is basically almost the end of Friday. It's 2:54 p.m. So Bitcoin's going up. Oh, the other thing is I also haven't had time to do any coding today, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to do a little coding today or just take today off. On the other hand, I really need to get out this game, even if it's crap. The important thing is I just get the game out and then just keep working on it afterwards. And yeah, I actually found out that the guys who made Back for Blood, Turtle Rock Studios, worked on Counter-Strike, Left 4 Dead, and is actually partnered with Warner Brother Games. So I completely forgot that Warner Brother Games is also another company that I could partner with eventually when I want to sell part of my company, and get that cash infusion. Because in order to become a big, whatever company, you have to partner with someone who's big, right? So that's why that's why a lot of startups want to get bought out by Google or Microsoft. In my case, I can get bought out by anyone in the video game industry. Take-Two. I'm probably not going to want to work with Activision Blizzard. They just have too many problems. Also, I kind of just don't like how they treat people. But I can do Warner Brothers. I can do Microsoft, the Bethesda, right? The guys who make the Elder Scrolls. There's Epic Games, the guys who make the Unreal Engine and Fortnite, of course. Though that'll probably be much less likely, because why would they acquire a company that has a competing Battle Royale game? Even though it'll technically be different, right? Because I'm going to be designing mine to be different. So there's just a lot of stuff going on, and I figure, well, if I do this now, I don't have to do a Bitcoin Clown World video next week, and it'll give everybody time to actually take advantage of this, because the subject of this video is how do we protect ourselves from the drop? Because now we know that Bitcoin's going to go straight to the moon, right? It's going to reach 64 grand, right? 64.5K, and then make its move to all-time new highs. It's been a long time coming. So everything's working exactly as I predicted, right? August is going to be a very powerful month. July was supposed to be that month, but it took, I guess there was a bunch of FUD and all this other stupid crap, and people still weren't feeling it, but at least it kind of ended July kind of strong. Not strong enough for my standards, but at least it went from, 29,400 repeatedly, right? It broke below 30K and bounced back up, very hardcore. So whatever, I'll take it, right? The bottom has already been in. Now we're just going straight up. Now, I'm thinking that Bitcoin should reasonably hit around 100 grand, 125 grand by the time Labor Day weekend rolls around here in the US. I think Canada also celebrates Labor Day at the same time too. So basically all of North America is going to be, checking out. And because of that, trade volumes will go down and people are going to sell their positions typically to, remove their exposure to over weekend risk. Right, especially the following Monday, the holiday Monday. So because of all that extra selling pressure and lack of trade volume, as you can see up here, that could actually cause, a pullback. If you go back to previous bull run years, 2013, 2011, and 2017, crypto markets have always dipped on Labor Day weekend. So I don't see how this will be any different. So that's why I'm doing this video. So we can profit off of the pullback, and hopefully it'll be a nice big pullback. So, or you could just choose to just stay in, take the hit, right? The correction hit, and then just ride it all to all-time new highs. Because it could be different this time around, right? It could be that Bitcoin dips a little bit during the Labor Day weekend and then goes back up a lot, in which case there's the strategy I'm talking about is actually pointless. Or worse, you actually lose money because now you're no longer exposed to Bitcoin going up. So it's kind of difficult. So this is definitely kind of a gamble. All right. So I have to remake this chart because apparently because I was so inactive with it for so long, this site just decided to reset. Okay, so I'm going to be drawing a graph for us. I have to figure out. Okay, let's say this is 100. All right, let me. Okay, so this is not my best artwork. Wait, this is a text, right? Oh. So let's say this is 125,000 BTC. Okay, $125,000 for Bitcoin. And this is 250,000 for Bitcoin. I don't, depending on how high this wants to go for the month of August, which isn't a lot of time to work with. I don't see Bitcoin going any higher than 250K by the end of August, which would be the ideal situation because it'll be so obvious that it has to pull back. So basically, what I'm going to teach you to do is, depending on the price of Bitcoin at a certain point, you're going to buy a call and then buy 2 times or so the amount of puts. So basically, you'll make money from the puts if Bitcoin pulls back. And then if you happen to be wrong, then that call that you bought will just keep making money. So in my case, because I actually need a cash infusion, I'm just going to sell. I'm definitely going to sell off all of my Riot calls. And then probably do the overweighted put straddle strategy, which I'm teaching here. My ledgerx positions, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I know I'm going to dump it, and then I don't know if I'm going to hold the cash or also do the same thing. Or I might actually just choose to simply take the risk and just simply buy calls and then just let it go down in value because of, the pullback. Now, the thing is, I probably won't do that if indeed, by the end of August. So let's see. August 31st falls on a Tuesday. So September 3rd is a Friday. So Labor Day weekend should be September 3rd to September 6th. We actually need to get a confirmation of that. Labor Day weekend 2021. Yeah. So yeah, because it's always the first Monday of September. All right. So basically, the week of August 31st is when I probably need to start dumping, my options. Obviously, I will not dump my crypto, even though I know it's going to go down because, well, whatever. I just simply take my daily profits at that point as cash, right? And then buy back in after the correction's over. So basically, what happens is, let's use a thinner line. So let's say more realistically, Bitcoin, it's August 31st. Bitcoin is at 125K. So you dump all your options. So now you have all your profits, right? Your hand rubbing skills have gone up like a couple thousand points. And then what do you do? All right, I'll show you exactly what I mean by calls and puts. But this video kind of assumes that you know what a call and a put option is and you know how to get one. If not, you should just look it up on YouTube and then go get a stock market account so you can trade Riot blockchain calls right here or any blockchain related company like Coinbase. I prefer Riot because this thing is cheap yet expensive and yet it goes up insane amounts of money. So I already did all the research. The best call options and put options, the best options period to buy if you want to buy a Bitcoin based stock is Riot blockchain. All right, there's a lot more risk, but there's also a lot more profit. And right now, the risk actually doesn't mean anything. It's the profit that matters, right? Oh, and on top of that, I'm assuming that you're going to be buying at least 2-year out call options. So in this case, I'll be buying the January 20th, 2023, all right? Because you need time. Because there's a very real chance that this could take a while to, realize full potential profits, right? Bitcoin might need several more months to hit like 1 to 3 million. And yeah, this bull run could actually peak out at the first quarter of 2022 before crashing. You know, like the what was the name of that blimp? The Hindenburg, all right? Because that's what's gonna happen, all right? But you're not gonna get burned up like the Hindenburg because you're smart enough to listen to me and take my advice. Which, by the way, I'm giving away for free, which I wish I should charge people for this. All right, so let's say at the end of August, right? It's August 31st, you know, Bitcoin's 125K, we're all in profit, right? I'm definitely going to be ecstatic because I literally just made like at least a few $100,000. I don't know if I'll be making millions, but definitely six figures. So I cash out, now what do I do, right? And we'll go to Riot in just a second, but basically I'm thinking, okay, there's probably going to be a pullback. I'm willing to take the risk that I could be wrong and that there is no pullback or a very small pullback. That is the risk, right? In addition to just leaving my money in cash. So what do? I buy one call option, right? Let's say this costs me $5,000. So this is represented by an up arrow. And then I'm going to buy two put options, right? Which is represented by this down line, which is also thicker, right? So I have one call and two put options. This is what we call in stock option trading straddles. A straddle is when you buy both calls and puts. If you look at JP Morgan or any really publicly traded financial company at least, and you look at their options positions, they actually all own calls and puts at the same exact time, right? And then they overweight it in one direction depending on what they think the direction of, you know, the underlying asset or commodity or security is going to go. So for example, if JP Morgan thinks silver is going to go up, they're going to have more calls than they do puts. But they still have puts because they need to protect their position. And the best part about cryptocurrency is you can have a straddle like this, and even though the put, let's say the put makes a lot of money, the call that you have that's losing value will actually be in profit once the correction's over, and then and then Bitcoin goes back up beyond 125 grand. So you actually make money on both sides of the trade, right? This is how the smart money actually makes their money, right? That's why I got to where I am and will continue to get stronger. And based on what I've been talking with my trademark lawyers, it does appear that, you know, my instincts are right. If I actually just throw enough money and willpower at the situation, I can force this asshole out of the European Union with his trademark. So, and I know for a fact I have way more of both time, money, and willpower than he does. And on top of that, I was here first. So, like, what the hell? Ah, stupid trademarks. So anyway, so that's basically the gist of this, right? And then obviously, you know, when I'm streaming, I'll tell you what my straddles are looking like. I mean, I may not even do a straddle, right? Because, I mean, this momentum is so strong and suppressed that we may not really get that much of a pullback. So it would not be worth it to do, you know, an overweighted put straddle. But again, it's hard to say. I mean, that's why I'm hoping that Bitcoin will go to 250 grand instead of 125K. Because at 100K to 125K, I don't think that's enough. Like, there's too much ambiguity. But when Bitcoin hits 250 grand, right? Right now, Bitcoin's basically at a little under 43,000. And then in the span of like, let me see, 7, 14, 21. In the span of like 23 days, it goes up like 5x. Yeah, that needs a pullback. That obviously needs a total pullback. Where's that thing? So if Bitcoin's 250K, I am definitely dumping all of my options and going overweighted put straddles for sure. In fact, I'll probably buy. I might actually just not even buy a call at that point. I might actually just buy some puts. Right? I won't go too crazy with the puts, but I'll buy some puts. I'm gonna have to bite my nails a little bit and just like try to really control myself because it's gonna be very hard for like at least many days to see Bitcoin go up above 250K for a little bit before dropping like a rock. Right? It's gonna be nerve-wracking. It's gonna be nerve-wracking. But again, it's much more likely to pull back if Bitcoin hits 250K because it goes up too much too fast. And what is the rule I've always said all these years? Bitcoin, if it goes up a lot, it has to come down a lot before making higher highs and lower lows. right? That's why it's called volatility, right? Crypto has got the greatest and most powerful volatility in the world. That's why I love crypto. That's how I was able to take $500 and turn it to 254 grand by the end of 2017. Okay, because of that volatility, all right? Because I knew what I was doing, and people who listened to me also made an absolute killing, all right? So yeah, all right. So let's say, I mean, we're gonna have to pretend that Bitcoin right now is, whatever, 125K or whatever. So what do, right? So right now, I mean, Riot Blockchain, if Bitcoin's 100, excuse me, I just made myself cheeseburgers with cheese and fries today. Very delicious. And I put my own mayonnaise on it because now I have to cook because food prices at Burger King everywhere is skyrocketing, so it's cheaper to cook. So at that point, I think Riot Blockchain will be like, I would probably want to say probably $140 a share. Now the problem is these numbers are gonna be off. So we're just gonna have to pretend that the numbers we see here, the $35 strike, is really $140. But the principle is the exact same. So, all right. So let's say it's August 31st, right? The end of this month. And I need to do a overweight put straddle. What am I gonna do? All right. So I look at the current strike price of Riot Blockchain. I'll read chat in just a second. So right now it's basically $35. This is at the money essentially. So this is going to cost me $3,200 to purchase one call option at the $35 strike. Okay, great. Now what do I do afterwards? I look at the $35 or maybe even the $34.50 put option. This is put. This is when things go down. I look at the price of this and I go, what? Wait, hold on a second. This can't be right. Oh, I was wondering. What? Oh, no wonder the prices seem way too cheap because. Hold on. There we go. Okay. All right. Well, I take that back because I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, these prices look way too cheap. And hey, Bosif. Also, it's not showing the picture of whatever it is you posted. It's just showing whatever that GIF picture thing is. Okay. Yeah, I was reading these numbers like, wait a minute, these things are in pennies, they're not in dollars. Okay, so let's restart again. All right, so January 20th, 2023. Okay, so first of all, make sure that you're buying the 2-year leaps, right? The long-term options. The longer, the better, right? You want to buy the longest possible option. So in this case, in the open markets right now, it's January 20th, 2023. All right, so... Okay, I don't understand. Is this thing available? Okay, so whatever. All right, so let's say I want to buy one call option for Riot Blockchain at $37 strike. How much is that going to cost me? $1,705 because you got to take this number and multiply it by 100. So I have one Riot call. Okay. Now I go down to the put section and I look at the $37, $35 strikes. Okay. So now I'm going to buy 2 or more put options at 37 or 35. All right, I guess depends on how cheap I want to be. All right, so let's do 35. A little slightly out of the money. And I buy 2 of these. This is going to cost me $1,755 times 2. So we're looking at $3,510 just for 2 put options. So it's going to be pretty expensive. But basically, I will have 1 call option and 2 put options basically at the $37 strike price. All right. I mean, if I want to spend a little more money, I can just buy at the $37 strike as well. But, I want to be cheap. So, I'll just do 35. Like, the couple extra dollars isn't going to make that much of a difference. All right. Especially if Bitcoin goes from 125K and then does what I'm expecting it to do, which is pull back a lot. So maybe it'll pull back to, say, $64,000. So basically a 50% drop. That's a lot of money. And once crypto drops and you see that it's pulled back a little too much, you dump all of your put options. You take your profit and you take all those profits and do whatever you want with it. In my case, I would just buy. That to me is buying the dip. I would actually convert that all into calls at that point. I would not do any more put straddles because it's already hit the bottom. It can't go down any further. So at that point, just buy the calls and then just watch yourself become a multimillionaire. All right, because that's what I need to do. Whew, my God, I gotta catch my breath here. So that's basically the gist of it. And yeah, it is pretty expensive. So let's say you have a ledgerx account or what's it called, deribit, for those of you who are outside the United States, or if you live in like the UK, especially. I think deribit's for UK people, right? It's the exact same principle. You gotta find out what. Man, we need. Can I go to deribit actually and access their thing? Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna let me do that. Yeah, I understand. I don't care. Just let me see your crap. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Go to live future trading. Perfect. All right, good. So I don't need to sign in. I can't sign up for here anyway because obviously I'm in America. All right. So let's say you're on deribit. Now I have ledgerx, so it's going to be different, but they already have December 2002. Actually, I could check right now. What is, because they've been adding more and more options. Oh yeah, look at the value of my options kind of go up, I guess. Okay, they have December 30th, 2022. So basically one and a half years. That's more than enough. I prefer 23, but whatever. Yeah, so basically it's going to be the same principle. So let's see, Bitcoin, which one of these am I supposed to use? All right, so unfortunately, deribit doesn't have longer duration options. It appears that the longest one you could buy is June 24, 2022, which is stupid, but you're just going to have to deal with it. Now, the confusing part about this is deribit also has a kind of weird system for how they do it. I don't know if it's like a specific British thing or a European thing or whatever, but I'm trying to figure out. Okay, I know what a bid and ask is, and this is the strike price. So let's say, great, they don't have, all right, let's just use 150K. So basically, at the end of August, Bitcoin's at $150,000, right? Now you need to do an overweight straddle, put straddle. So what do you do? I'm trying to read what this is. Okay, so the puts are on the right-hand side. Okay, so if I want to buy a call from deribit at 150K strike, now these prices are going to actually be a lot higher because, okay, I'm going to have to use the at the money values here to try to figure this out. Okay, so basically you're going to pay, let's say you're going to just buy, because I always just tell people just buy it at the current ask price just so you don't have to wait. But basically at the money calls for each Bitcoin contract is going to cost you, I'm going to guess this means $40.65. I assume it's times 100 like everyone else. And then if I buy a put option at the exact same strike, this is going to only cost me half the amount of money. So it's actually cheaper to use deribit or probably ledgerx than it is to say Riot blockchain. Now in my case, I still want to fund my stock market account, especially since I technically have like a minus $30,000 loss on it because of fucking MRRL from COVID. So I want my money back for that. So yeah. So whatever. But so this is actually really nice. You can actually use my overweight put strategy on deribit and probably ledgerx, and it's a lot cheaper because for every call that you buy, you're going to get basically a little less than 2 puts. So you are actually in a really good position, all right? So, you know, for $41, I'm just going to estimate because I don't want to deal with these stupid decimals. So $41 for one call and then $46 for 2 puts. So that's for, you know, the number of contracts. So that's actually really good. So you could buy like 10 calls for $406.50 and you can buy 20 puts for God, my brain's farting out. Web calc. Okay, what does this say? 23.40. So $23.40 times 20 calls. So $468 you can buy 20 puts. That's really cheap. Wow. And for $406.50, you can have 10 calls. So if Bitcoin dips from 150K to like 60K, you literally have just made $90,000 worth of strike price in put options times 20. So how much money is that? Like you're I really don't want to try to figure this out, but I think you make like $900 times 20, right? I think that's what it is. Because I got to multiply this by 1% to convert it correctly. And then it drops 90 grand, and 90 grand times 1% is $900. So your $468 put investment by buying 20 put options turns into, where's the clear button? Times 20 put options. You've literally turned $468 into $18,000. How many X money is that? Okay, there's a reason why smart money buys options. All right, and you can also sell options too, which I'm going to actually do. All right, I'm going to do it safe, obviously. So basically, you took like a bunch of no money and turned it into a crap ton of cash. Like, what would you do with 18 grand if you put in 468? And remember, I only bought 20 put options on deribit. And what would happen if you did 40 put options, right? 80, 100, all right? You know, how much money do you want to make? Now, of course, the problem is, you know, the risk, right? Because obviously you could be wrong. It may not go down as much. It may not go down at all. Or you make the wrong decision, like it goes down, but maybe you want to hold out, and then that turns out to be the wrong move, and Bitcoin starts going straight back up, right? You know, that's the risk. But again, we'll just have to, you know, but that's why I do my videos 5 days a week, essentially, including Bitcoin Clown World. So we'll definitely be on top of it. Well, I'm definitely gonna be on top of it because I need the effing money, right? And if one of the lawyers that I talked to today, he actually said if I had 5,000 euros or something, or pounds, because he's from Great Britain or something like that, I would win the trademark situation. I was like, I didn't say anything in response to it. I should have because my mind was so distracted. But yeah, that's 100% worth it to me. Yes, I would pay 5,000 euros right effing now to get rid of this asshole, right? And then I can finally be free to follow my marks and all that. Hey Pharaoh, I haven't seen you in like 20 million years, but hopefully you've been doing well. Yeah, I've been doing all right. I mean, the trademark shit sucks, but you know, I'm a fighter, so you know. And the good news is, you know, I am right, so I just have to keep pushing. And I finally will be filing an opposition, I think, next week to the asshole in Greece. And then, you know, I can put an end to this. And more importantly, you know, I've learned so much about trademark issues that it really just turns out that most advice is just retarded, right? Because what works in one country does not apply in the other effing country. So it's an interesting situation. It's an interesting situation. And because I'm not famous like Coca-Cola or Warner Brothers or whatever, I can't rely on, you know, what is it, like the situation I'm dealing with now. Because I'm not famous, then I don't have something called distinctive mark or distinction, something like that. Like you're truly unique, right? But that's only reserved for worldwide brands, you know. But whatever. You know, we gotta get our start somehow. And you know, with the way Bitcoin's been behaving, right, the past 2 weeks essentially, going to week number 3. Well, you know, money won't be an object anymore, and then that'll be that. Okay, and the interesting thing is the dollar is up a lot today. So but crypto's up and stocks aren't doing too badly. It is hitting precious metals and crude oil though. But if I had to guess, it's probably the Federal Reserve just manipulating the money supply. They're probably pulling out a lot of money right now, so out of circulation. I use protect my work, but I think you have a more complex. Yeah. Well, first of all, well, thanks for that. But first of all, my situation is a trademark problem, not a copyright problem. If this were a copyright problem, my problem would already be solved. Independent witness. Yeah. Copyright is literally just small time BS you know, that's not where the true heart of intellectual property issues are. It's trademarks and patents. But I don't do patents, right? Though I could, but I don't really want to do that because I think it's a very scumbag thing to do in video games. But my thing is trademarks, right? They're very different. Copyright is very different from trademarks, which is very different from patents. Now they could all be related, but ultimately they're all very different, you know. So, but yeah, because I had a copyright for Aeon, but because the assholes at NCSoft had the trademark for it, my copyright means nothing essentially. So that's that is the power of trademarks, okay? And it's bullshit, but you know that's just whatever how it goes. Okay, so I believe that should cover the overweight straddles. I don't. I mean, what time is it? It's 3:24. I mean, I haven't done any coding today. I kind of want to play my games. I don't know. I don't know if I'll do a stream after this. But obviously, if I don't stream today, I'll definitely stream on Monday. But I assume that this video is what everyone's going to watch anyway, so this kind of counts as my thing. I am a bit worried about the future of freedom. Do you have any positive future outlook from your info sources? I don't have, well, first of all, I don't have any more sources anymore. I kind of left the whole political shit behind. As for a positive outlook, I'm not really sure. I'm actually still thinking about that. I mean, I haven't devoted as much because obviously I'm focusing on my video games and shit. But I don't know. It's hard because the problem is Trump's not doing anything. I actually went on his website either this morning or maybe yesterday just to see what he's doing. Like, this effing guy is just retarded. Like, he's achieved the pinnacle of all this material success, and he's behaving in a massive loser-like way that even I don't act, even when I wasn't, when I was at the bottom of the totem pole, socially and financially, right? If I had a fraction of what Donald Trump had, I would literally turn everything around within, like, a couple of years. At the very least, I would cause a shit ton of damage to the system. And to see Trump throw that all away just to complain all day on his shitty little website, it's, I don't know if I want to say the word insulting, but it kind of borders on that. It's like we gave up a lot to support this stupid fucking asshole. Now, I'm not saying like I hate Trump or anything, but I'm very, like, I go ham. I work very hard and I sacrifice a lot. I expect men who are better than me to do this fucking same, right? And to see Trump just give up like that, I mean, he doesn't think he's giving up, which makes it even worse. It's so freaking frustrating. It's so freaking frustrating. It's like, then what was the point, right? What was the effing point? Things are worse than ever, and what did we get out of it, right? It's so frustrating, but very true. We all lost social capital for him. Yeah, I mean, John Cardillo, the NYPD guy, also kind of echoed the same sentiment. Mike Cernovich has also done the same thing. Even Nick Fuentes has said the same thing. Though he's generally not nearly as harsh, right? Nick actually happens to be a very nice guy, so, but me, I don't give a shit, It's like, I just want to be told the freaking effing truth to my face, right? I'm not going to like it, but at least if I know what the truth of the shitty situation that we're in, I can try to formulate a solution. That's the other thing, too. A lot of the intelligent things that I'm doing, I got from Donald Trump's books. Why isn't Trump following his own advice? So a positive future outlook. That one's difficult because on the one hand, cryptocurrency is going to completely screw up the banking system, right? But the flip side to that is, oh, this is Chrome. I should go back to Brave. But the flip side of that is, the people who are screwing us over now are in charge of everything. So it's not going to be hard for them to screw up cryptocurrency too. But because of the decentralized nature of crypto and everything else, I think we'll stand a better chance, especially as more countries become like El Salvador and Paraguay and other nations start Tanzania. Tasmania. I keep thinking of the Tasmanian Devil cartoon from Warner Brothers, but uh, what's the name of I think it's actually called Tasmania. Oh, okay. So Tasmania is spelled with an S. That's funny. So Warner Brothers changed the S to a Z to make the Tasmanian Devil. Yeah, I love the Tasmanian. I love the Tasmanian Devil. Is he? Oh, this is an actual real animal. Oh my God. I didn't know that. He looks like a bear or a half cat, half something. He looks nothing like the cartoon. Yeah, I love this. Yeah, Merry Melodies, Looney Tunes. Yeah, I love the Tasmanian Devil versus Bugs Bunny. That was like my favorite. Yeah, he does the tornado spin thing. Ah, God. You know, I wouldn't mind paying like a couple hundred bucks just to be a kid again, and then not have to worry about any of my shit just for a couple days. You know, it's just like a vacation. But I don't know. If I ever because when I made my first move, I wanted to partner up with Warner Brothers. So maybe I could pitch to them again. You know, to do something to Tasmanian Devil, because I love the Tasmanian Devil. So. Oh, that's the other thing too. When I make my King Arthur type of movie, yeah, I would have Warner Brothers do it. They have a lot of experience, obviously, because of Lord of the Rings and other things. But a lot of like medieval films that I like watching that were or have not seen but have won critical acclaim, they're all actually made by Warner Brothers. So they tend to be more friendly towards conservatives. So I definitely would, yeah, I think like I still would. I can't believe I completely forgot about Warner Brothers. They would be like a perfect fit for my company, right? Both video games and entertainment. And I don't think they have a battle royale game too, so that makes me extremely valuable to Warner Brothers because now they have a competing product that they can use to compete against other companies. So like this is what we call business strategy. So, you know, like Trump used to say, the harder I work, the luckier I get. In my case, it's not luck, it's because I actually work. You know, unlike Trump right now. I grew up watching the Tasmanian Devil, LMAO. Yeah, I love the Tasmanian Devil. He was so funny. And he would spin around. Like he wouldn't. I don't even think he ever spoke. Like he literally, it was literally all just grunts. It was all just grunts. That's why it was so funny. I loved him. I loved him. And then he had like a crazy, voracious appetite, and he would like eat everything. I think that was him. Yeah. But all in good time. All in good time. First and foremost, we need to become multi-millionaires, maybe deca-millionaires off of Bitcoin. Because yeah, if Bitcoin hits $1 million, or ideally $3 million when this is all said and done, yeah, I'm pretty sure I should be able to make like $43 million. I think that's about what I'm looking at. And the reason why I say that is because obviously the value of these ride call options are just going to be they're just going to be so astronomically huge and unbelievable that it has to just, you know, yeah. Let's not get ahead, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I just know that Riot is going to be worth almost $1,000 a share. So imagine if you had a call option now when it was at 35 bucks. You're basically making, let me see. Let's say it reaches $970. So basically 10x. Wait, is that right? No, actually, Riot's going to be worth more than that. Hold on. So Bitcoin right now is at $43, and Riot's at $35.24. So if Bitcoin hits $1 million, we're looking at 25x, right? Or three, or yeah. So I'm just estimating, but and then I'll go. So basically, if Bitcoin right now goes up to $1 million, that's about 25x. The value of Riot is going to be 35.28. 35. Let me clear this. 35.28 times 25x. Oops, plus 0. I accidentally hit the wrong button. So basically, it's going to be worth $882 a share. So basically, the value of my call option is going to be, let's say, because of the time premium I had to pay. Is there a back button here? I don't think they have a back. Great. They don't have a back button here. shoot. Okay, hold on. Oh, okay, that's the back button. All right, so let's say subtract $50 a share. So my pure profit per call option is going to be 832. Now I have to multiply this by 100, right? And let's say I have, and everything works out ideally, right? So I have, let's say, I don't know, how many call options in Riot would I have? Let's say I had like 30 of these. The 30 times 3,000 would give me a value of 90 grand. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, so let's say 90. All right, so let's say I dumped $90,000 into buying call options, right, because of the overweight put strategy, plus my cash reserves, and we already hit we had a pullback, right, a correction pullback, which always happens. So let's just say a modest 30 call options on Riot. My total profit, oh, okay, so I went a little too overboard. So I would actually make a profit of $2.5 million. Hey, which by the way, ain't too effing shabby, right? Because if if another 4 or 5 years, the stock to flow chart is still working, which I think it will, because the Federal Reserve is literally going to print money up the wazoo, right? And Bitcoin hits a base number of, can I move this? Okay, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, great, I gotta refresh this. Because if in 4 or 5 years the stock to flow, okay, I need to move this. If the stock to flow, right, because this thing is not even here yet, but the stock to flow is gonna say that Bitcoin's gonna be inherently worth 1.4 million, which makes sense because Bitcoin is still generating coins, albeit half and less. And the Federal Reserve at that point is going to be inflating the money supply like you wouldn't believe. So 1.4 million per Bitcoin. What do you think the peak of this is going to be when the frenzy hits in the next bull run, right? 4 or 5 years from now. Bitcoin could hit $10 million. And because I have like millions of dollars in the bank from this bull run, right? All of a sudden, this $2.5 million, well, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to become a freaking 100 a tri-millionaire, so hundreds of millions of dollars. I will definitely be a deca-millionaire, which is tens of millions of dollars. So yeah, like that's how you got to do it. Yeah. Oh, by the way, this calculation was only made with my Riot calls. I didn't even include my ledgerx calls, which will also probably make me probably a few million as well. So that kind of sucks. I thought I was gonna make 43 million, but hey, you know what? I'll take a few $1 million. I mean, I'll have to lose half of it due to stupid asshole taxes, but I can still do a lot of damage. So yeah. So don't think your situation is hopeless or you don't have enough money. That's loser bullshit Donald Trump talk, all right? Every time you think you're out, just thank God you're not in Donald Trump's situation, okay? And he's not even in that bad of a situation because he's got all the material wealth in the world, plus loads of hot women around him. But other than that, I mean, he doesn't really have much going for him simply because he just doesn't want to do anything, right? So at least you're not in that situation. In a lot of ways, you're actually in a better position than Trump, right? Because Trump still thinks Bitcoin's a scam. So I mean, the world's just gonna pass him by, just like everything else. Okay, how long is this video? So it's been 43 minutes and 40 seconds. So yeah, I should probably wrap this one up, but yeah, this is actually looking very good. As I speak, crypto keeps going up. So if we're actually lucky by tonight when I go to bed in like 9 hours or 8 hours or whatever, I think Bitcoin should be maybe around easily 45,000 to be conservative, but it could definitely hit 47 grand by tonight. And then I was even saying that if I was going to stream later, I was even going to say that Bitcoin might hit 50 grand by this coming Monday. But if it keeps going straight up like it's doing right now, because the 24-hour volume is also 100 billion, right? The 24-hour volume. Right now, there's so much effing buying going on right now. I think we could actually see mid 50Ks by this Monday. Like this thing is just ripping higher. Like like they say in Doom, it's going on a rip and tear. So yeah, I mean, just look at the right hand side of this chart pattern. Wow, it's going straight up. And on top of that, the Ethereum London hard fork so far hasn't seemed to have any problems, right? It's already been like it's basically been 24 hours. sure our problem would have popped up by now. So everything is set. The stage is set, right? Now it's just a matter of, waiting and enjoying and feeling good of ourselves and rubbing our hands and then just, counting our blessings as each dollar goes up into, cryptocurrencies. Okay, so I actually need a thumbnail. I wish I didn't actually refresh that because I did like that bull picture. Let me see if I can still find it. Bitcoin slingshot. I mean, that could work. Ready to deploy. Amazon's Bitcoin acceptance can prime a. Oh, this is just a speculative article. This isn't actually reporting anything. Okay. Damn. Oh, look at all the. Man, Cointelegraph has really got such talented artists. It's crazy to me. JP Morgan is now offering clients crypto. But only if they ask for it. Yeah, JP Morgan really hates crypto. I don't even think they're trying to manipulate it downward. I think they genuinely hate crypto, which is frustrating. Oh, that's the other thing too. If financial deplatforming is a problem, I was thinking one day I would actually just create my own financial services company, and that would be public, right? Dragonflare something, and then I could use that to give that stock to my employees, right? Also, I'm really good with money, so I was thinking about BlackRock and how rich people control politics throughout the whole world. It's rich people, right? Your vote don't matter. Your vote doesn't matter, right? And the only reason why we're not screwed with crypto yet is because there are actually rich people in crypto right now lobbying Washington to stop screwing us in the ass, at least for now. So again, that's lobbying and money, right? So something for me to think about. Okay, all right. I am going to take this as a screenshot. So I'm not going to stream at the end of the day today, right? Like I usually do because I did this video. I want to play my games, but I also want to do some kind of coding. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I need to take a break or something. Also, I'm kind of waiting to see if there's any more emails because I contacted 10 extra lawyers today. So, but it was worth it because, I talked to 3 of them and then I had to go with 1 because obviously I can't retain 2 lawyers at once. So, and I really just thought, man, this is almost like dating, right? I have to ask a lot of hot women out and one of them will say yes. I mean, that's just how it goes. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm going to upload this to Rumble and yeah, I think that's it. So I will see you all after the markets close on Monday, and yeah, let's pray for 55,000 by this coming Monday, right? Because it's clearly obvious Bitcoin wants to go straight to the moon right effing now. And you know what? I am 100% happy.